Hi everyone. Hopefully this is the start of a weekly video. So hopefully you guys will stick around and hopefully spread the word if you find me somewhat entertaining. So I wanted to talk to you guys about an addiction that I have. It's pretty serious. Sadly there's no rehab for it. But if Dr. Phil, if you're listening, call me because I'm pretty sure you're my only hope at this moment. But I've recently noticed how my lying is kind of unnecessary and sometimes probably not appropriate. A couple of weeks ago I went to a concert and I ended up having to sit by myself, and the whole situation kind of evolved into why I ended up lying, I think. I sat next to these people and they were just not very friendly. As soon as I sat down, the girl next to me turned around and put her back to me, and I was not having that. I was kind of just sitting there and listening. They were trying to take pictures of themselves, so I ended up volunteering to take a picture of all of them. And I thought, this is my way in. I'm going to join their friends of circles, and it's going to be great. Well, I take a picture of them. I went out of my way, and we kind of sit back down because we were standing up taking a picture. And Miss Wannabe Sasha Fierce, with her weave, which wasn't even a good weave, does the same thing, turns her back to me. And to you, that might be like, oh, that's not a big deal, people are like that. No, this girl really worked that weave to show me that she did not want to talk to me. It was one of those moves, which I don't think Beyonce has ever done, but in her head, she was Sasha Fierce. So to demonstrate, I have a friend of mine here who's going to demonstrate Miss Wannabe Sasha Fierce. Owl, people, owl. So we both sit, we sit down after taking the picture, getting ourselves back adjusted in the seat, and Sasha Fierce is like, whoosh, and turns her back to me. Unnecessary. You see that I'm by myself, no one's coming to sit with me, why are you being rude to me? She was just, I guess she thought she was too good for me with her little showing hairline, which I don't think it's supposed to happen when you have weaves. I don't know. I've never had weaves. To the other side of me, people finally came, and they were very nice people. They kind of talked to me for a little bit. And in one of those moments where you just kind of pause in a conversation, the people in front of them turned around, and they started talking about what they did, their careers, their jobs, where they lived, all that good stuff. And of course I'm listening because I have nothing else to do, because Sasha Fierce is still giving me her weave. And I'm listening, and they all have really good jobs and apparently, very nicely off. So the lady turns to me and says, "What do you do?" A normal person would say what they do. This guy here is not a normal person. I ended up telling her that I go to the school that I don't even go to, and that I'm going to school to be a lawyer, and I'm graduating in a few years. I'm not going to school to be a lawyer. I don't know where that came from, but apparently I was going to be a lawyer. And of course, when you lie, even when you don't lie, people want to keep talking about the topic on hand. So she kept asking me questions, and I have to keep lying. And in my head, I'm like, why am I lying to this lady? I don't know her. She doesn't know me. We just met. We're not going to become friends. So I ended up lying to her for 15 minutes. So anyways, a few weeks after the concert, I ended up going to church. And most people go to church to ask forgiveness, I guess, for their sins. I go to church to commit sins, apparently. I went to church, and one of the ushers asked me if that was the first time I've been there, and that I kind of ended up telling him that it was my first time there, which it wasn't. So, of course, God, Jesus, Oprah, Dr. Phil, whoever runs heaven, was like, I'm not playing that. So they end up putting me in a really up close to the stage in a fancy area that had like little velvet rope, and they had to like unhinge it for me to sit down. And apparently I was sitting with really elite people here in the city, because they were like real fancy people and they were talking about all these things, and I was just like, and of course they start asking me, who am I? Oh, it's your first time? Oh my god, welcome, blah blah blah. And I'm like, why did I lie? So then I feel bad. I'm like, should I get up and tell them that it's not my first time? Should I just get up and pretend I'm going somewhere and just sit somewhere else? But then you would have to say that you've lied, so that doesn't really work out for me. So I just ended up sitting there, and I felt awful, because in the middle of like service, like, oh, if this is your first time, stand up, we'll welcome you. And of course the guy that sat me there was kind of looking at me, and I didn't stand up. So I felt bad. But when you lie, you just kind of have to commit. So, yay me for committing.